Hello viewers, it's a great pleasure to have you once again on Nebo TV. My name is Agbaje Onome. Thanks to all Nebo TV subscribers and supporters, and for those who haven't subscribed to this wonderful channel, please don't forget to click on the subscription button and notification bell to get updates from Nebo TV. So let's move on to today's news. Recently, there has been a news trending on social media which says that the acting chairman of the EFCC, Economic and Financial Crime Commission, Ibrahim Magu, has been arrested by the Department of State Service. Stay with us as we bring more details.
The acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu, has been arrested by the Department of State Services. He was arrested at the Worcester 2nd Office of the DSS on Monday afternoon, 6th of July 2020, and is now undergoing interrogation at the DSS headquarters in Aso Drive. The DSS in 2016 report revealed that Magu was living in a 40 million naira mansion. In December 2010, the Police Service Commission found Magu guilty of action prejudicial to state security, withholding of EFCC files, sabotage, unauthorized removal of EFCC files, and act on becoming of a police officer, and awarded him severe reprimand as punishment. Magu is currently occupying a residence rented for 40 million naira at 20 million naira per annum. This accommodation was not paid for from the Commission's finances, but by one Umar Mohammed, Air Commodore retired, a questionable businessman who has subsequently been arrested by the Secret Service. For the furnishing of the residence, Magu enlisted the Federal Capital Development Authority to award a contract to African Energy, a company owned by Same Mohammed, to furnish the residence at the cost of 43 million naira. Investigation shows that the acting EFCC chairman regularly embarked on official and private trips through a private jet owned by Mohammed. In one of such trips, Magu flew to Maiduguri alongside Mohammed with a bank MD who was being investigated by the EFCC over complicity in funds allegedly stolen by the immediate past petroleum minister, Dazina Alishon Maduke. Furthermore, the EFCC boss has so far maintained a high-profile lifestyle. This is exemplified by the preference for the first-class air travels. On 24th June 2016, he flew Emirates Airlines first class to Saudi Arabia to perform Lesser Hajj at the cost of 2.9 million naira. This is in spite of Mr. President's directive to all public servants to fly economy class. Magu has fostered a beneficial relationship with Mohammed, who by his confession approaches clients for possible exploitation, favors and associated returns, the DSCC report said. Magu is yet to confirm as the substantive chairman of the EFCC despite occupying the position in acting capacity for many years.
Still on the arrest, the Department of State Service has refuted some social media reports which says it arrested the acting chairman of the EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, but rather it was taken in for questioning. Stay tuned for more details.
This was contained in a press statement made available to Vanguard in Abuja by Peter Afunaya, the Public Relations Officer, Department of State Services. The statement titled, Official, Magu not arrested by DSS. The Department of State Service wishes to inform the public that it did not arrest Ibrahim Magu, acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, as has been reported by sections of the media. The service has since 6 July 2020 been indicted with inquiries over the alleged arrest. However, information gathered stated that the acting chairman of the EFCC, Magu, is being grilled by a panel set up to investigate alleged infractions against him.
Just last month, in the month of June 2020, the Attorney General of the Federation wrote to the President Muhammadu Buhari, recommended the removal of Magu from the position of EFCC acting chairman, accusing him of misconduct, insubordination, and diversion of recovered loot. Stay tuned for more details.
Just last month, in the month of June 2020, the Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Abubakar Malami, wrote to Buhari recommending the removal of Magu, accusing him of misconduct, insubordination, and diversion of recovered loot. Also, the former Director General of the Department of State Service (DSS), Lawal Dura, had also written what was said to be damaging report against Magu to the Senate. Tony Amokedo, a spokesman for Ibrahim Magu, claims that Mr. Magu wasn't arrested as reported in sections of the media, but was invited for questioning by DSS officials. He said Magu was invited for a panel set up by the federal government investigating corruption allegations against Magu.
The security operative have whisked away Ibrahim Magu, acting chairman of EFCC, for questioning by the presidential panel probing the agency. So stay with us for more details.
The panel is currently sitting at the presidential villa in Abuja. The cable initially reported that he was arrested by operatives of the Department of State Services, but the secret police issued a statement to deny any involvement. However, the cable understands that the DSS officials were involved in the operation along with officers of the Nigerian police force. The anti-graft agency also issued a statement saying that Magu went to honor an invitation by the presidential panel. The EFCC boss was neither arrested nor forced to honor the invitation. A member of a legal team from the EFCC is also with him on the panel. Dele Oyewale, head of media and publicity, said. The development comes a few days after Abubakar Malami, Attorney General of the Federation, accused Magu of gross infractions. The AGF asked President Muhammadu Buhari to sack Magu over some weighty allegations, including the diversion of recovered loot. In addition to allegedly relooting the recovered loot, Malami accused the acting EFCC chairman of insubordination and misconduct. In 2016, the Senate declined to confirm the appointment of Magu as EFCC chairman after a DSS report indicted him of corruption.
There is a developing fear of a likely cover-up situation in the EFCC amid the investigation of the suspension of the acting chairman, Ibrahim Magu, as some unknown people allegedly broke into the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit and broke computers and took all other documents, as unknown people allegedly broke into the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit and broke computers and destroyed documents relating to the investigation. Stay tuned for more details.
There is a developing fear of a likely cover-up in the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) over the ongoing investigation of its suspended chairman, Ibrahim Magu, as some unknown people allegedly broke into the new office of the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit and destroyed computers containing certain vital and sensitive documents that could help the investigations. This development gathered followed the appearance of some officials of the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit before the Justice Ayo Salami panel investigating Magu to clarify certain grey areas, especially as relating to some accounts suspected to have been used to move money. But the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit officials told the panel that by their operational protocols and procedures, they don't go about with such documents. The officials, however, advised members of the panel to visit their office to cite the documents requested for. Unfortunately for them, before the panel members got to the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit office, it was gathered that some unknown people had broken into the office, went straight to the room where the documents were stored in the computers and destroyed them all. It is worthy of mention that the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit was the agency that investigated all the allegations of financial malfeasance against Magu, in addition to the fact that the agency was only recently severed from the EFCC. However, following the developments, sources hinted that the Director General of the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, Mr. Mobidu Haman Toku, met with President Muhammadu Buhari immediately after to report the incident, a situation sources believed informed the decision by the President Buhari to approve Magu's suspension. Meanwhile, the burgling of the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit office is the latest twist to Magu trial.
Following the suspension of the acting chairman of the EFCC, there has been some grumbling among the operative of Economic Financial Crime Commission (EFCC) as to who will take over the acting chairman that has been suspended by the president. Stay tuned for more details.
There appears to be grumbling among operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) over who takes over from the suspended acting chairman of the commission, Ibrahim Magu. President Muhammadu Buhari had on Friday 10th of July 2020 approved the suspension of the embattled acting chairman who has been facing presidential probe panel sitting at the Banquet Hall State House Abuja since Monday 6th of July 2020 over corruption allegation. President Buhari had, in a statement issued by Dr. Umar Jibrilu Gwandu, Special Assistant on Media and Public Relations, Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, and the Minister of Justice, giving the approval of Magu to step aside as he is being investigated. The statement reads in part, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the immediate suspension of Ibrahim Magu as acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in order to allow for an unhindered inquiry by the Presidential Investigation Panel under the Tribunals of Inquiry Act and other relevant laws. President Muhammadu Buhari has also approved the EFCC Director of Operations, Mohammed Umar, should take charge and oversee the activities of the Commission pending the conclusion of the ongoing investigation and further directives in that regard. Though President Buhari on Friday 10th of July 2020 put the speculations and confusions on who supervises the Commission to a stop, it was reliably gathered that the operatives are grumbling that only police officers have been heading the agency since its establishment. Besides, some are lamenting that right from the time the pioneer chairman, Nahu Ribadu, was appointed by former President Olusegun Obasanjo, the headship of the commission has been under control of the people from the northeast. Sources at the EFCC headquarters noted with dismay the alleged dominance of the leadership of the commission, even when they claimed that there are other Nigerians from different professional backgrounds that can perform far better than police officers. The aggrieved operatives said that the new director of operations that was appointed by President Buhari to oversee the activities of the commission was brought by the suspended chairman and has stayed about 4 years with the commission.